Welcome to the Art of Classiness podcast, a show where we redefine what it means to be a classy lady. And sometimes it's messy. I'm Robin.
And I'm Deborah, two friends turned classy ladies who are here to discuss life's ups and downs, navigating the complexities of adulthood, and how the gift of friendship is essential to belonging.
Today we're diving into another Am I the Asshole Roundup, where you get to live your best judging life without having to deal with these people in real life. And trust us, this batch is a wild ride.
That's right. We've got a full lineup today. Food policing gone wrong, major family planning disagreements, some bare minimum babysitting, and a friendship tested by money and jealousy. It's a lot.
Which means we're doing what we do best, deciding who handled it with class and who went full crass.
So follow along, give us your feedback, and don't forget to like and subscribe. What is up, classy ladies and gentlemen? Hey, Robin. How's it going?
It's going well. I had my first 5-hour ski lesson yesterday.
5 hours? Damn.
You get a little lunch break in between.
Okay.
Like 45 minutes. But yeah, I've never skied for that long.
Yeah, that is a full day.
But I learned a lot and I feel way more confident on the skis now. It was a small group. It was just me and two other women. And we were all kind of at the same skill level. So it was really great. Like we were all learning at the same pace. And I was actually really nervous leading up to it. So I'm glad I finally did it. And I have 3 more classes that I need to book. But it's been bright and sunny out here. Not much snow. So skiing yesterday was a little icy. But I don't know. Might be a good thing to learn on that kind of terrain because it makes it easier when it's actually good snow.
Right.
Yeah, that was my whole Friday.
I mean, by the end of this season, you could do just a full Winter Olympics. We got curling, we got skiing. I mean, what is next here in the Winter Olympic lineup?
Ice skating?
Well, yeah, let's get an ice skating routine going.
Yeah, I could do that. So, how are you?
I am over this winter bullshit. Speaking of winter, I was so close the other night. I had to have a friend talk me off the ledge of just booking a solo trip to Florida. I was like, fuck me up, Florida. I don't care. I'm just going to go down unattended, unsupervised. I was going to do just like a 24-hour solo trip to Fort Lauderdale.
And what's wrong with that?
I mean, I really do need to be saving. You know what I mean? Like I've worked really hard to get to this point of, getting back on track. And it's like, you really can't do this.
I get that.
And I do have a track record of just booking plane tickets without really thinking it through. I will say most of the time it's worked out well for me. I had a great trip to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go to Alaska. I had a very bad time in Hilton Head. That's a story for another day. But man, I was just really close to being like, you told people to do this on your podcast. You told people to get out of the winter blues and go someplace warm.
Migrate south.
Migrate south, opposite season. Why don't you do it? And I'm still it's not out of the woods. But here's what stopped me. I looked at the weather and it was like 70, which 70 is great. But it's not 85. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wanted hot.
Yeah.
I want hot heat on my face. So I need some kind of break. I need a break from the routine. I need to just shake it up right now because I definitely have the winter blues, the post-holiday, getting back to work stress is just really wearing me down. So I need to do something to just shake it up. I'm kind of committed to planning something in the next few days that's going to give me something to look forward to and just being like, I don't care what's getting in the way of it. I will find someone to watch Chaco. I am taking the PTO. I am finding someone to watch the kids. Like I need something to do.
Can I make a suggestion?
It's going to be Bend, Oregon, isn't it? I'm joining that curl team, aren't I? They call me Deborah the Hammer Andrews. Did you know that?
Hey.
Just kidding.
There's only enough room for one of us.
I know. I know. Honestly, though, it's got to happen. It's got to happen.
Do it.
Yeah. So my life is crazy right now. And it always feels good to just focus on people who they have their own crazy shit going on in their lives, which is why I'm so excited for our episode today, where we have another roundup of Am I the Asshole?
That's right. What better way to take the spotlight off your own shit show, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's always somebody who's in a worse position than you.
Yeah.
So I hope these are able to provide you some solace.
Yes, absolutely. So let's put our focus on other people who have their own set of problems, and we'll declare, are they the asshole or are they not the asshole? Maybe we'll get another. I love when everyone's the asshole here. Those are my favorite, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, let's kick it off. Robin, you want to do the first one?
Yes. Okay, here we go. Am I the asshole for not wanting a second child when I originally told my husband I would? I, 33 female, and my husband, 36 male, welcomed our first child earlier this year. We found out early on we were having a girl, and while excited to grow our family, my husband really wanted a boy. He has somewhat jokingly told me that we'll keep trying until we have a boy. Originally, we planned on having 2 to 3 children, but my first pregnancy and postpartum were rough. I was nauseous and vomiting daily my entire first trimester and lost 10 pounds in 1 month. Then I developed cholestasis and gallstones. Our baby girl was delivered at 38 weeks and was perfectly healthy. But at 2 months postpartum, PPD and PPA hit me hard. I had a kidney stone that needed to be surgically removed and had to have my gallbladder out. All in all, I was in the hospital for over 2 weeks when our daughter was just 2 months old. Our daughter isn't a difficult baby, but I found being a mom is extremely hard. My husband and I have also been fighting constantly. We've hit a rough patch and are struggling to get back to the happy marriage we had before. It's all taken a toll on my mental and physical health, and I've come to the decision that I do not want to have any more children. I've tried to tell my husband that I don't want to have any more children, and it feels like he doesn't believe me or is hopeful I'll change my mind. Or he mentions that we previously agreed to have more than one. I'm not sure what to do at this point, but I'm afraid I'll lose him if he can't accept that I do not want any more children. So, am I the asshole?
Oof. This is really hard because people talk a lot about women choosing to not have children, being child-free by choice. But we don't really talk a lot about parents making the decision or one person making the decision about how many kids to have once you start having children. I feel like this is not really something you hear a lot about. So I'm kind of excited to dive into the nuances of this topic.
Yeah, it really sounds like she had a terrible experience from start to finish and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Like, give this lady a couple years before you start pushing another kid on her. Like, let her get out of this funk.
Right.
And even if she still stands by what she said, that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
It does suck that, they agreed previously a certain number of kids, but she is allowed to change her mind.
100%.
I wish that he was more supportive of what she's going through right now. It doesn't seem like he's getting it.
No, and that part is so challenging because being pregnant and childbirth are so traumatic, and I truly don't think that men can understand what it is like, even if they are there every step of the way, and my ex-husband was fantastic in that role. He was really only there for the first one because the second one, he was deployed for the majority of that pregnancy. But he was fantastic by my side. And for both, he was there for the labor and delivery. And I remember him saying that he was completely in awe of the process and it was the most awesome thing he'd ever seen. And yet he still did not understand the gravity of postpartum, how much it took a toll on me, the hormone swings, the physical toll that it took, the mental anguish that I was in. you really cannot understand it until you're in it. And when she says PPA, I'm assuming she means postpartum anxiety, which I can speak firsthand. I really suffered with after my second child. And it is no joke.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely no joke. You don't even feel like a human at some points. Like you feel like you're not even yourself anymore. So it's challenging because as a husband, I'm sure that you want to have a say in your family dynamic. And there's maybe a voice in his head thinking, it'll pass. She's just in this right now and it will pass, right? But at the same time, he needs to accept that she might never change her mind.
Yeah.
And the pressure is not making this situation any better. Nothing is worse than feeling like you are not being heard in your personal opinions.
That is the biggest issue to me here because he is not providing her what she needs in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
She needs way more support from him. And I mean, especially in America, I think society as a whole does not have full appreciation for what women go through in childbirth. You push an 8 to 13 pound human out of your vagina and you expect me to just go back to work tomorrow?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You expect me to be ready to have sex?
Right. With no leave.
What is wrong? What is wrong with people? Yeah, I think the biggest step towards her maybe leaning in the direction of having another kid like he wants is taking care of her, making her feel supported, helping to find solutions to help with the anxiety and depression, having these kinds of conversations of like, what do you need right now? And like taking on 150%. Sounds like she barely has 10 right now. Of course, she's going to say she doesn't want kids, you know? Blows my mind. It just blows my mind. And it's like, why would she want to have a second kid if you're not even like supporting her with the one? I wouldn't.
100%. And I would say, I wouldn't even give him that advice of like, try to support her where she is now and see if she'll change her mind. Just support her now. Just support her now with no underlying pretenses.
I'm not saying and see. I'm just saying if he even wants that to be an option.
Right. Yes.
So there is an update.
Okay.
A few things to help clarify things/answer some questions. I am on birth control. I have endometriosis, and it's the only thing that has helped manage it. My husband is the best dad. He is absolutely amazing with our daughter. She lights up every time she sees him, and I am so grateful for that. He is extremely hands-on and was also incredibly supportive and helpful during my pregnancy and postpartum. We do fight more now than ever, but when it counts, he always steps up. My daughter is 8 months old, so I have been giving this a lot of thought. Some days I feel like maybe I could manage another baby. Others, it feels like an impossible thing and scares me. That's why I've been feeling like I do not want another baby. My husband just told me that if our next child would be a girl, he'd be okay with stopping there. He did recognize how hard my pregnancy was and postpartum is. That did give me some relief that he's not so set on having a boy, but I still don't know if I can have another. We've been talking about going to therapy to get our marriage back on track. As far as an update, I don't know if I'll share anytime soon. After reading your comments, I plan on telling my husband that I'm not certain I want more. I think a fair compromise would be to take it off the table now and revisit it in 6 months to a year and see how I feel and where we're at in our marriage. Thank you again for all of the advice, support, and love. This last paragraph is exactly what I was saying. Like, give her time. She's still recovering from that trauma.
8 months is so early. I mean, I thought that they were further along. Like, I thought maybe her daughter was a bit older. 8 months having these conversations, like, no, you are still so in it. Like, her daughter is not even walking yet. She's still carrying this baby around. Like, no, 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 no. Like, you don't have to start planning so early. And I get it. You're in that mindset. That's all you're thinking about is kids and babies. And like, you're in the family planning space. But it's perfectly fine to have kids 3-4 years apart.
Yeah.
It's totally fine to do that.
There's no rush.
There is no rush, especially if you had a difficult time and surgery following that endometriosis. Like, take your time, get back on track. I always tell people before they have kids, two things happen, especially if you have pets. If you have pets, your dog becomes an animal overnight. Okay.
No.
Yep. I'm sorry. That dog.
What was that noise I just
I know. It's tough. And I remember hugging Chancellor Stevenson and being like, I don't know how I'm ever going to have more room in my heart for another human than I do right now because I love him so much. How am I going to love a baby more than I love him? And when I came home after 2 days of dogs barking and cats meowing, I was like, get these animals out of here. Like I just immediately was like mama bear protective mode. So dogs become animals and your husband becomes a man just immediately. It doesn't matter how great they are. There are moments where they are just dudes. And so it's hard to find your way back to each other in that first year to 18 months. It takes some time because again, your world is just upside down. You can try to be as equitable as possible. It's never going to be the same. It's never 50-50.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to not build resentment, and it just takes a ton of effort. So hang in there. You are not the asshole at all.
No.
And I really hope that you guys continue to find your path forward and, get therapy, use your tools, and sounds like you already have a beautiful family. So.
And it sounds like they're communicating. I went into this story blind. I had no idea what the update was. It was really nice to hear that he is being a very supportive husband and caretaker and helping with the baby. I'm really glad that we were wrong there.
Yes.
So hopefully it sounds like they'll be able to bounce back. Whether or not she wants to have another kid, that's a different story. But I think they'll be able to find their way back to each other and get back on track with their marriage and, maybe just enjoy the one kid.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Every child is a blessing.
Yeah. Seth only wants to have one, if we have any. And I used to be like, no, 2 minimum. And now I'm like, nah, 1's good.
Yeah, 1's enough.
So yeah, not the asshole.
Yes.
Declared.
All right. Am I the asshole for doing the bare minimum when I got roped into babysitting? My sister, 38, invited me over for a family meal. Our parents were there too. After dinner, my mom and I helped clean up while my dad and brother-in-law watched my nieces and nephew. Afterwards, my parents left. Then my sister and brother-in-law asked me if I could watch the kids for an hour while they went for a quick errand. I agreed. They got very dressed up for errands, but I didn't ask. They've done this before. I don't usually have anything going on, so I really didn't mind. Today, I was clear that I had plans and 1 hour was my limit. My sister agreed to 1 hour. After an hour, I called and she didn't answer. Half an hour later, I texted my friends and said I couldn't make it. Then I proceeded to keep the kids alive. I felt I owed that as family. Did I put them to sleep? Nope. Did I make them a snack rather than let them use the stove? Yes. Did I keep the little one from drawing on the walls while his brother played Fortnite and the middle kid watched Stranger Things with me? Nope. I kept them alive. My sister got home a little after 1 a.m. Nephew was still playing Fortnite. Middle kid and I were still binging Stranger Things. Little one was passed out on their bed. I got up and left. I've been hearing about it for days now, about how irresponsible I am. That 12 is too young for such a scary show. That my nephew has limited screen time. That they still haven't gotten the drawings off the walls. My parents have gotten involved as well. I really don't care. I was told 1 hour. I agreed to 1 hour. I feel that I did a great job for 1 hour. Not really my problem after that. So 4 people think I'm being an asshole. 3 kids had a great night, and I think they won't try it again. Am I the asshole?
I mean, I applaud this brother. So shitty of the sister to not even keep him informed.
Right.
Come back at 1 in the fucking morning? Are you kidding me?
I mean, to agree, hey, we just need you for an hour. To say that you're running errands, you bold-face lied
Yeah, they got super dressed up.
That's just so rude to not answer the phone. Like, what if something happened to them, right? To not answer the phone when someone is watching your kids is already irresponsible, right? Because what are they supposed to do? You didn't give them any instructions. You didn't tell them, here's when you put them to sleep.
Yeah.
Here's what shows they're supposed to watch. Here's his limited screen time schedule. Here's shows they're not supposed to watch. Like, given no instruction, what else was he supposed to do?
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't sound like he has kids of his own. So how the fuck is he even supposed to like remotely know what to do
Right.
with 3 different age groups?
This is what I like to call malicious compliance, right? He did exactly what he was told. He stayed there for an hour, and then he was just basically a warm body after that.
Yeah.
You know?
And the fact that his parents are getting involved, I don't know how it's not abundantly clear that it was shitty of his sister to lie and then leave and not come back for, I don't know, 8 hours.
Yeah. The parents are clearly picking favorites in this situation.
I mean, what a great way to never have your brother as a babysitting option again.
I mean, not only is it malicious compliance, weaponized incompetence. Good for this guy. 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
This is one time where I really approve.
I really do approve of this method. I really do. You know,
Yes.
in a relationship, I wouldn't approve. In this instance, 100% gets a pass from me.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think this guy's an asshole at all. I can see why his sister would call him that based on how he babysat her kids, but you put him in this situation that he did not want to be in.
Yeah.
You agreed to 1 hour. You didn't even answer your phone to have a conversation with him.
No.
Like, so shitty. So shitty. Like, you're just being a bad sister.
Yeah.
I'm honestly entertained.
I am too. Sounds like the coolest uncle ever.
Yeah. I proceeded to keep them alive.
Mm-hmm.
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
That's all you got to do.
Love it.
Somebody commented, because sister had the grandbabies, she is the golden child who must always be placated. And then someone replied, that's the one. Big chance OP has been harangued about a lack of children before the parents hyperfixate on the sibling that achieved the incredible feat of getting jizzed in. Honestly, just sounds like the whole family sucks and revolves around the trashy sister who cares so little about her kids, she doesn't even answer calls from the babysitter.
Yeah.
There's that. Yeah. Someone could have been hurt. And I bet she'd be like, well, if you would have called multiple times, I would have picked up.
Mm-hmm. So, not at all the asshole. The sister and brother-in-law are totally the asshole for just dishing the situation. That was easy. Declared.
Declared. Alrighty. Next up. Am I the asshole for throwing out my girlfriend's food?
Ugh.
I mean, starting off, I'm already on her side. Because you don't get between a girl and her food. Okay?
This is a dangerous territory. Dangerous territory. But let's see. Let's see.
Okay. I, 23 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 26 female, for about 1.5 years now. We do not live together, but she's been staying at my place for a bit since she's in between jobs right now and needs a place to stay. And I told her she could stay with me for free as long as she needs. Well, she's been staying with me for a bit over a week, and it's unfortunately not always great. I can't spend much time with her because I'm currently earning my MD and I have a part-time job. I love my girlfriend, but she doesn't usually clean. Most of the time, I wash her dishes, do her laundry, etc. I don't mind cleaning for my girlfriend. Doing favors is my love language. This morning at 8:40-ish, before I left for school, I saw a half-eaten sandwich on the counter. I assumed my girlfriend was going to finish it later, so I left it. I finished school at 4:35 and then went to work. I got home at around 10 p.m., and the sandwich was still there on the counter. My girlfriend wasn't at my apartment, and I called her, but she hadn't picked up. So while I was cleaning my kitchen before sleep, I threw away the sandwich. It had been left out all day, so I didn't think she wanted it. This morning, she got back to my apartment and asked me if I had thrown away her sandwich. I said I did. She got a little mad at me, saying it was inconsiderate of me. I apologized and took accountability, and we moved on. Well, at least I thought we moved on. She's been distant with me all day. I try to talk to her, and she gets irritated. couple of hours ago, she came into my room and told me she'd be spending a few days at her friend's house. I said, okay, I understand if she needs space. About 30 minutes ago, she texted me and told me I never think about her. She told me I would rather have a clean apartment than a happy girlfriend. I feel so terrible for making her feel like I don't care about her as much as I do, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Am I the asshole? I haven't been spending time with her because of school and work, and I'm worried that I really am being inconsiderate.
Okay, sweetie, sweetie, sweetie.
Can we talk about bacteria for a second?
We got to talk about bacteria for a second. Honey, honey, honey.
And like, was there meat on that sandwich?
I mean, let's say mayonnaise even. If you're going to have mayonnaise on that sandwich, you can't be leaving it out.
No.
I'm struggling, unless it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And even then, you're going to let that bread get stale like that and you still want to eat it?
Yeah, I was imagining it was something like older leftovers in the fridge that weren't completely spoiled yet, but he thought it was. Like, that's what I thought this scenario was going to be.
Right.
That's kind of gross, this scenario. Leaving your sandwich out all day? All day?
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting.
That's gross.
You're gonna get sick.
He did you a favor. He saved you from like food poisoning, sweetie.
Maybe it was like a buildup for her, but I just thought it was so funny that because he threw away half of her sandwich, she's like, I gotta go stay with my friend for a few days.
I mean, it seems to me that the love language he gives is not what she receives, right?
That's a really good point.
He doesn't mind doing it. It's like acts of service is like his love language. But I'm wondering if she almost feels judged by him picking up after her. And that's like really what's going on. I wonder if it's like embarrassing for her, you know? I wonder if I low key, because right now my house is an absolute pigsty. I'm actually like embarrassed how I'm going to go ahead and say it, like dirty my house is. I have not had the time and capacity to give it a scrub down clean. And I think if I was in a relationship and somebody came over and cleaned it, I would be appreciative, but there'd be a part of me that would be like embarrassed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but she's staying at his house. It's his place.
Oh, that's right.
He can do whatever he wants.
It is his place and she's just keeping it dirty like that.
Yeah. Here's my thoughts. She might be thinking that the stuff he's doing is expected because he is just naturally doing it and she's gotten used to a certain way of living, or she just is not recognizing that that's his love language at all.
Yeah.
Because that does happen if people don't understand that that's how you show your love. And that's not their love language. Like, they're not going to read it that way. You have to have a conversation about how do you like to receive it? How do you like to give it? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Beyond the sandwich thing.
Yeah.
Like, because it just sounds like maybe there's a few elements here. You know, he's really busy with school, which I would think she would be, especially because she's in between jobs, that she would be the one supporting him.
Right.
Since he's gone like 12 hours out of the day, 14 hours. Like, I don't know. I think it's a little nuanced, but I feel like the girlfriend's the asshole here.
Yeah. There's no way this is just about the sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way this is just about the sandwich. I think that was like the last straw for whatever is going on, whether it is them misaligned on their love languages, whether if she is in between jobs as someone who has been there before, it's an incredibly stressful time. You're kind of just like a ball of exposed nerves, right? And so maybe she just needs some time away for other reasons and he can't see that. And so he's like misattributing why she's upset.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not because he threw away a sandwich that probably would have given her bubble guts in the least and full-blown diarrhea in the worst case scenario, you know?
Can I read you the first comment? I just read it.
Yes, please.
Not the asshole. I work in dietary and can tell you she would have gotten food poisoning from eating a sandwich that had been left out all day. In my opinion, a happy girlfriend also wants a clean apartment. Just saying.
Yeah.
And then the next one says, Not the asshole. She told me I never think about her. Actually, she never thinks about you, and it shows how she treats your place. Yes, exactly. At 26, she should be able to pick up after herself, and you could be making a bigger deal of it, but you don't. And she's unemployed? What is she doing during the day? I know I'm assuming, but she strikes me as a person who can't possibly take accountability for her own actions.
Mm,
She left food out all day. Of course it's trash now. Nailed it.
nailed it. And I'm going to quote something that I saw attributed to a man, but you know what? I think he needs to attribute this to her. Girl, what about him is so necessary? Okay. Boy, what about her is so necessary?
Yeah. I mean, she's just firing accusations towards him, like throwing a little pouty fest.
Yeah.
Grow up, girl. Grow up. How old is she?
26, it said, right?
Yep.
Old enough to know better.
She's 3 years older than him.
I mean, come on now. Come on now. I mean,
Bitch, you're just taking advantage of a pretty sweet situation.
very sweet golden retriever that needs to find a loving home.
Letting her stay there for free.
Yes, sweetie, go find someone that's going to appreciate all that you do
Seriously.
and not take advantage. There are too few good men out there willing to act like this, okay? And girls like that just destroy it while they're young, okay? So go out there and get you a real woman who is going to treat you like a king, okay?
Because you're going to be a doctor soon.
That's right. That's right, okay?
Yeah. She doesn't deserve you, dude.
Not the asshole, you sweet little golden retriever.
No.
You need to cut her loose. You need to throw her in the trash just like yesterday's sandwich.
That's perfectly said. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
You are not the asshole. You're a sweet, sweet man who deserves someone that appreciates everything that you do for them.
Yeah, and someone that can pick up after themselves.
Yeah.
Declared.
Declared.
All right, last one here. Am I the asshole for asking my friend to pay me back, but she said I'm just jealous because I'm unemployed? I lent a friend $20,000 months ago, and she promised to pay me back, but then kept pushing it off. I didn't hound her because she said money was tight, and she was paying for her mom's hospital bills. After a whole year, she gets a new job and even bought a brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max from her salary. I know because she posted it on her story. So I finally asked calmly if she could start paying me back since my bills are stacking up. Imagine my shock when she told me, I'm only asking because I'm unemployed and jealous. Damn right I'm fucking jealous. I would love a stable income and a new phone too. But right now, I can't even afford dinner, and I didn't even ask for a gift. I asked for my money back so I can stretch my bills while I'm still job hunting. I lent money to a friend out of sympathy, and what do I get? She insulted me for being unemployed instead of acknowledging she owes me money. Now she's acting like I'm the bad guy for even bringing it up in one of her financial milestones. And yet here I thought she was a genuine friend who'd help me back when I'm struggling. Am I the asshole?
Well, this one's quite obvious, but let's talk about it.
I have questions.
How are you struggling like this a year later, but were able to loan someone $20,000?
Yeah, where did this $20,000 come from? And are you struggling because you gave away $20,000? Sweetie.
Did you have a job back then? Like, they don't really get into specifics here.
No.
I feel like there's a word for this kind of behavior. Narcissist? I think it's something else. But the fact that she borrowed that much money and is now accusing OP of being jealous and making them the bad guy, it's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
What do you call that? What kind of person do you call that? Gaslighting?
I know what you mean. I'm going to struggle to think of it too.
It's tacky.
It's tacky.
Like, do you care about this relationship at all? Doesn't sound like they're asking for it up front. You can do installments, like, do something.
This just feels like a very flip-floppy, volatile dynamic anyway. And I just think a lot of mistakes were made. First of all, I would never loan somebody that much money without any. If you're going to loan someone that much money without any kind of agreement in place, you are giving them that much money. Let's just be so for real.
Seth taught me this a long time ago because it was a hard thing for me when I was poor. Like, you loan someone money, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But he said, don't lend money you expect to see again. So you're basically treating it like a gift.
Yeah.
You can loan it. They could say they're going to pay you back. You could be like, cool, that's great. But also expect them not to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you can be okay with lending money. Otherwise, you need to put this in writing, like a real contract. $20,000, that's a bank loan.
Like, what? I just don't understand how you once had access to that and now are struggling to pay bills, to not have the foresight that in a year you are going to be that under duress financially, and to give that much money away is just so dumb. It's just not smart in the first place. I mean, so he's definitely not an asshole because that's incredibly gracious, but he really put himself in such a stupid position.
One of the comments says, pretty typical grifter narcissist behavior. That's a really good descriptor.
From the friend?
Of the friend, yeah.
Yeah, of her, for sure. For sure. Grifter, yeah. But also, how much is an iPhone 17 Pro Max?
Probably like $1,200.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around there. iPhones are generally like around 1,000. And maybe it was a little more for the Pro Max.
I just figure most people just bake it into the month-to-month plan when they get their phone, right?
Yeah.
So whenever someone's like, oh, I got an iPhone, it's like, yeah, but isn't that just baked into your phone plan?
Yeah, it's like they won't let you buy it up front.
They really don't. I have tried to buy phones up front because you can pay less for it if you do it, and they do everything they can to prevent you from doing that.
It's so annoying.
It's so stupid. Okay, this is my favorite. She's a bitch and you're dumb for not getting it in writing. $20K is a ton. That's 6 months plus salary for some people. FYI, I'd be public with this, especially after her comment. What a bad person. Yeah, I mean, really the only retaliation he has is her reputation at this point, because he's obviously not getting that money back and their friendship is clearly over. So your only recourse of action is to just drag her for filth.
Yes. One person in agreement with that. Instead of asking her for your money back, I would get on her socials and make it known that she owes you $20K and is refusing to pay back. Try to push social pressure on her rather than appealing to her directly.
I was in a situation like this on a much, much, much smaller scale in my 20s. I had a very, very messy roommate post-college that was in law school when I was in my first job. And she was supposed to live in the house all through the summer or find a roommate for me to cover the rest of her lease. Like, that was the agreement after she graduated. And I went home for the weekend of her graduation. And I came home literally a day and a half later and she had moved out. Like, she had a grad party at our house and she must have employed them as a cleanup crew because I came back and it was as if she had never lived there.
Wow.
She still owed rent that month, had no roommate lined up. I was looking at the entire house bill, the utilities, our outstanding rent, everything. She had taken some of like my things as well and left her cat.
What?
And left her cat.
Oh my God.
And all I could do, I mean, I tried contacting her so many times, tried contacting mutuals, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, like that's just like who she is as a person. Like, you probably should have never lived with her. Like,
that's so gross.
I don't want to say people were treating me like it was my fault, but they were like, you kind of should have known better. Like, you should have had her on the formal lease because she wasn't formally on the lease with me. So it was kind of my fault. And all I could do was just drag her for filth on MySpace.
And how'd that go?
She blocked me on everything. So on her page, like before she blocked me, on her comment, like, this is how much you owe me. She's a terrible friend. Like, every picture I posted, this is the night before she completely abandoned me. Like, she looks nice here. Little do you guys know that I went on a sloppy tirade on social media at that time. And I would have dreams where I would just see her and just like yell in her face about how much, because I had no money at that time. I was making $19,000 a year as a production assistant, like literally no money at all.
Yeah.
So these people must be in their early 20s, just not knowing it. Or I don't know how old they are, but you just don't give away that kind of money, honey. So
Yeah, you don't. You can't mix that kind of business with your friendships.
no.
That shit ends friendships.
I mean, it definitely ended this one.
Yeah.
So that totally sucks. Money comes and goes. Hopefully you'll bounce back. You're not getting it back from her, though.
You're definitely not the asshole here, but
Go get a financial advisor. Take some free courses online.
yeah, hope you learned something here and you take that knowledge moving forward.
Yeah.
Never do it again.
Don't do that again, sweetie.
No, 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 no.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. Let's transition to our class act of the week. This is where we spotlight a person, place, or even a parasocial relationship that we think embodies all of our core values of having just a little extra class. And this week it is Robin's turn. So, Robin, who is your class act of the week?
My class act is going to be my nephew, Gunner, who got a honor roll and he got a little award from it this week. And I'm just so proud of him. He's had a really tough couple of years. His dad, my brother, passed away 2 years ago. And as you can imagine, it's very challenging to lose a parent at any point, but especially at a young age where you're getting into sports and you're seeing other kids with their dads. And I can't imagine how hard that has been for him. So the fact that he has persevered and is still like doing really well in school, and that's just such a special kind of resilience that most kids his age don't have to endure. So, Gunner, you're an amazing kid. We love you, and you're an inspiration to us all. I'm so proud to be your aunt. Love you.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's great that he is persevering, like you said. Getting on the honor roll at a young age is, hard enough. And doing it in a one-parent household under the circumstances that he is in is just a huge testament to his perseverance. I think that's a direct result to how much love and affection you guys have shown him from all fronts. So great job, Gunner. We're proud of you.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's finish strong with one of our favorite segments, our Class or Crass. This is where we read a scenario and we declare if it is classy or crassy. Are you ready for this week's?
Let's hear it.
This one gives me PTSD. A coworker takes credit for your idea in a meeting. Classy to let it slide for team peace, or crass to correct them on the spot?
I would correct them on the spot, but I get it. Every situation is different. Might be a lot harder in some more than others. For me, like when I worked in the office as a designer, it's a lot easier to maintain credit. Like, oh, I literally did that. Like, that's my work.
Yeah. This has happened to me so many times. So many times in male-dominated rooms where, man, just, wow, really? You guys think we should do that now? That's funny. I've almost been saying that this whole time, and everybody ignored it or said it wouldn't work. But now this guy came in, and you guys think it's a great idea.
I feel like we see this trope so often on TV. Like where you watch that happen, someone else takes credit, and it's insane to me that people can be that fucking selfish.
Yeah. And it is infuriating. And I think that there are, first of all, this happens a lot to women and minorities. So I don't think it's crass to correct them on the spot. And I think we need to arm people with classy ways to do it without being seen as quote unquote difficult. Or, oh, this is supposed to be a team environment. Like you always get pushback for when, God forbid, you try to take credit for something you worked on.
Or when you have an idea, you say it out loud, and then someone else says the same thing, but claims it as their own.
Oh, yeah. Literally all of these things in every way you could say them has happened to me at some point. So I think one way, if someone does do that, It's great to advocate for others as well. So if you catch someone doing this in real time, don't be afraid. It's almost easier to be the one that like calls someone out.
Totally.
And my personal favorite that I've seen online is, I love that you're piggybacking off of Robin's idea. Because Robin, you mentioned this a few months ago. So, Paul, great on you for piggybacking off of what Robin got started a few months ago. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that momentum.
Yeah.
And just call it out. Hey, isn't that what Robin actually said last meeting? Because that was great the way you put it last week.
It's so good. And I'm happy to do that for someone else. I think we've talked about this. Like any kind of uncomfortable situation, I might not do something, but I will throw down for my friends.
Yep.
I will go above and beyond to make sure that like people are given credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrified of getting stuck in that situation. The fact that other people just do it so nonchalantly.
It's so infuriating when you watch it happen and you just watch how easy it is for some people to just assume the work of others, or even people in the room that have heard you say something before and will agree to it when someone else presents it. Like that's really where I have struggled in the past, where it's like I see someone else present or repackage my ideas. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, wow, yeah, I like that. And it's like, am I taking fucking crazy pills? Like, am I taking crazy pills? And I have had more than one breakdown in some of these boardrooms before. So I probably shouldn't be as surprised as I was that I no longer work at that company, because I just got to a point where I was like, this is absolutely insane what is happening, but it's so infuriating. And I'm a social justice warrior type of person. And so that shit never sits right with me. And so I think it's nothing but class to call somebody out when you see an injustice happening like that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of a way that it would be crass. Like if they're blatantly stealing your ideas, I get it. Sometimes people can forget that someone said something. And so they think they thought of it. Because actually sometimes Seth will randomly say something of like, oh yeah, I heard that if you blah, blah, blah. And it's like this cool thing. And I'm like, that was my idea. I said that. Because he's like, I heard it somewhere. I don't know. It was me. It was your wife.
So yeah, do the classy thing. Call out when someone is trying to take credit. That's my opinion.
Yep. Especially when it is the woman whose idea it was, and it is a man that is stealing the idea. Those days are gone. Like, we're sick of it. Women are sick of it. We're standing our ground. We're taking control of our own lives, our careers. This will not stand anymore.
This will not stand.
So,
this aggression will not stand.
Girl power.
Love it.
Declared.
Declared. Well, that's all she wrote. From rethinking more kids after a brutal postpartum to bare minimum babysitting, unpaid loans, and the sandwich that started a whole relationship crisis.
Adult life really does stay messy, but unpacking these stories together always shows how boundaries, communication, and a little grace can change everything.
We want to hear your verdicts. What story shocked you the most? Who's the biggest asshole? Drop your thoughts.
Send them to artofclassiness@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram and TikTok at Art of Classiness.
Thanks for listening. And remember, classy is a state of mind.
So mind your classiness. Bye.